Hey guys, hey!
Hi!
Welcome back to another video. We are just having some hummus
It's from our
from our other
little
video.
haul.
But we thought we're needing a snack today because we are going to be trying to solve a cold case.
And so in this, we bought it off Amazon. And there are different versions, so you can watch this and then still buy your own different cold case. And so we're going to have a go at this and see how it goes and see if we can solve it. And so this is the case of Jamie Banks.
Jamie Banks. Right. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Who's going to be Kelly and who's going to be Yolanda?
I don't know who either of them are, so.
I'll be Yolanda. You can be Kelly. She's.
Does anyone else watch these cold cases? Or is it just Aaron?
It's called custard. It's called justice. You know Kelly.
Cold Augustus, what the one who always brings in retired detectives
Yeah.
to solve the case for her.
All that sealed case smell. What's this? Do you know the envelopes? Do you know the answers?
It says not to open them until after
Don't
you've done
open until you've
certain.
completed 1 and 2 and
And
3.
So there must be like twists and stuff.
So maybe these are things that they're going to be like kind of answers or some sort of thing. So then the next thing is the whole.
Actual case. And so according to the packaging, the victim was Jamie Banks, and it happened on the 20th of November 92, and then it was sealed on the 26th of February 93 and as unsolved.
Can do. So it's given us a picture of the girl.
The victim, that is Jamie Banks. It's got instructions there on the front.
Evidence. Yeah, I'm not very good at reading instructions. I just jump straight into stuff, whereas Ian's good at reading the instructions.
But I'm also very good at eating crunchy snacks.
At the same time, we're supposed to be talking.
And so on November 20th, 1992, East Verona High School was shocked by the death of 18-year-old senior Jamie Banks. Jamie fell from a 6th floor window in the newspaper room where she worked as an investigative reporter. Investigators identified 5 individuals who might have been in the room with Jamie, but they were unable to identify a prime suspect and eventually ruled it a suicide and closed the case. But Jamie didn't commit suicide. She was murdered! Can you solve the case that eluded the police for decades?
Let's find out.
Yep, they've been waiting since 1993 for us to come along and solve this. So instructions. Unsolved case files. It's a game that lets you solve a fictional crime using evidence and documentation from the original case file. Objective 1.
Prove someone was in the room with Jamie.
That's the first one.
When you can prove someone was in the room with Jamie just before she died, visit the web page to see if you're right. After you prove Jamie was not alone, you may open bonus envelope 1.
And so, obviously, to do this, you need the internet to check up the answers. And so, it's first of all, it gives you that objective to see get proof that she wasn't alone.
So can we open these things then? Can we open that then to find out she proved
Yeah, it
she was
seems
alright?
like everything apart from those other 3 envelopes.
Hey guys, we're just having an alcohol break because that makes me
A cake break.
and a cake break because that makes us focus a bit better. We've read through a lot of the information.
It definitely worked out that someone had mascara in their eye.
Yeah.
And
She definitely had mascara in her eye.
at the moment, not found a lot of conflict.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah, so.
But we have still got 2 more statements. Is it 2 more statements to read? Yeah,
we've
2
got
more
the
statements.
pictures to look at, and
Yeah. So we've read a lot of information. It's very thorough, isn't it? So at the moment we've just got to try and prove that there was someone in the room with her before she got pushed. Yeah, that's the next part. But we'll show you in a second. Like once we've read all the statements, we'll show you what it looks like. But not like it's not all the information because we don't want to ruin it for everyone.
And there's so much information.
There is a lot.
But we'll just give you an idea of what the pack's like.
Bye.
Romantic interests? I don't think so. I mean, she was pretty. In her own way, of course. But she was one of those girls who was a bit too mature for high school boys, I think. And so how are you feeling now? Oh, sad to be sure. But I'm trying to see the bright side. I'm excited to have the lead to play finally. I meant your stomach. Oh, yeah, I'm fine now, thanks for asking. I think the whole situation shot me back to health somehow. I don't think about it for a while and now I feel normal. It must have been something I ate.
So it says the first objective is to prove someone was in the room with Jamie. So we've been given the witness statements of people that were there, and then we've been given the suspects and their witness statements, and if they weren't there, then just their interview. Then we've got newspaper clippings and stuff of the victim and things like that. Then we've got the pictures that were in the evidence thing, and then a CCTV image of what happened. So we've just gone through all the evidence, and we think we figured out how we know that there was someone in the room with her. So at the moment, we're not really sure who's done it, but we are positive we can move on to the next stage.
Hey there, guys.
So we'll just give you a quick overview of the case, but we won't go too in detail because there's so much detail.
Yeah.
So
here is Jamie Banks.
She's the victim. She was found on the floor.
Yeah.
They thought it was suicide, but now they've decided it's not.
Well, they closed the case, didn't they? Because they couldn't find any. And they've got the
CCTV footage of her fall. Well, just she was just basically being found.
And at the time it happened, there was just happened to be this big picture taken of all the school because there was a prep rally ready for the football, but there were 5 people who weren't there.
And these are
the 5 people. One is
Paul
Preakness, and he's like the drama teacher.
Yeah, drama teacher. So she was she was doing a play at the time, and he was the drama teacher.
Yeah, he's the one who decided who got the places. And he was apparently fixing some scenery at the time that had broken.
And he was very
friendly with the female.
Yeah, and very fond of the victim.
Yeah. And there's Olivia Underwood, and she is the understudy in a play that she was part of, which was Romeo and Juliet. She was the understudy of Juliet, and she's very self-involved, and she's ready to carry on the Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, she seems like she's not bothered by the whole thing, and she just can't wait to move on with the play.
And then there's Benjamin Gelding,
who's the kind of doctor at the.
Yeah, he was like a guidance counsellor.
Yeah, that's the one.
And he was saying how she suffered from like bipolar and depression and things like that. And then there's Johnny Rocker,
who we think she was trying to write a story about at the time. Because he's on the football team, and they think that there was some dodgy doings going on.
And apparently, at the time he was murdered, he was in the girls' bathroom with his girlfriend, who had a lot of mascara in her eye and tab clear on her top.
So
those are the ones who weren't there, and so in theory are the only ones who could have been the ones who would have actually murdered her.
Yeah. So to move on with the case now. we had to prove that that there was someone in the room with her at the time.
And
So we think we've done that.
and so now we just have to go to a certain web
Website
page.
and
Well,
see if we're right.
but I'm certain we are. And then once we've done that, we'll be able to open Envelope A, which I guess will give us some more information and our next thing that we have to discover. Take it from there.
So yep, that's the next thing.
So we've just been on the site and it's quite clever the way it does it. You have to choose what evidence and then certain parts of the evidence to prove that you've worked it out. So it doesn't just tell you, thankfully.
Yeah.
And so we solved it. So now we open this, which is going to open with you. We'll see what's in there, as long as it doesn't spoil it too much. Right, so let's see what's in here. Another newspaper article. And pretty sure that's it. So, in here, our second objective is to find the suspect who is lying. One of the 5 suspects lied about where they were the day that Jamie Banks died. Can you prove which suspect lied to investigation? Then again, you have to visit a thing.
To prove that you've solved it. So that's the next step in the case. So I've had a bit of a sleep. Ian's had an omelette, and well, we've kind of got to the next stage, but it wasn't easy at all.
No, it was a lot more hidden, and it wasn't a matter of just looking through the normal evidence, trying to look for. There's a lot more hidden than I would have liked.
Yeah, it was almost like you had to really be an actual. What's the word? Like a detective to have got.
Well, not even a detective.
I don't even know.
A psychic.
Yeah, I don't even know if an actual detective would have got well.
No, I don't think a detective, if they'd been given the evidence in the form we had, would have been able to.
So I've not watched anyone else's videos on these things.
True.
So imagine if you watch someone else's and they find it really easy. I'm not going to believe it if they did now.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to watch one. If they found it really easy, I'm not going to believe it. But yeah, we couldn't. I don't know. Once Ian because Ian
I found out what evidence we had to. Well, I found out the evidence we had to look at.
And then when I woke up, he gave me the 2 pieces of evidence to try and figure it out. And even then, it was really, really difficult to figure out.
So yeah, don't feel bad if you
Yeah.
attempt it and you have to use the clues online.
Yeah. So we are on to the next part now.
Yeah. But we'll probably take Einstein for his walk.
Yeah.
Because
Have
obviously
yourself a
Aaron
little
is
break.
full of energy now after his really big power nap.
Yeah. So we're
It's
back.
Been a couple of days.
It's been a couple of days,
did
so
this, but we finished our day jobs and now back to our part-time job of solving on-case murder files.
unsolved murder files. Yeah, we've got our hummus, we've got our pretzel, we've got our coffee.
Who's going to eat it? We've
So
also
we
got these Cars melts that we got in our degusto box.
Yeah, so we're ready now to sit down and look over the case a bit more this time and to see if we can
So
figure it out.
we're now on to
Bonus envelope B. And sounds like, never mind bonus envelope B. What about this peg?
so let's see. Sounds like never mind thingy B, who's gonna eat this hummus?
Who's going to eat the hummus? We have to solve Jamie Banks' murder first, Einstein.
So we've got one letter. Is that it? Just one letter?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god. So this must contain something that we need for it to be. So in order to secure conviction of the killer, we'll need additional evidence that directly connects the suspect to the crime. When you know who the killer is and have found evidence needed to prove it, visit such a page to verify it.
So we'll just give this letter a read over now and we'll both discuss it and we'll see what we think and we'll get back to
Come up
you.
with any ideas?
So, hey, we've cracked the case.
We finished the case now.
Yeah, we've kind of finished it. We've still got this to open.
Should we do that live? Or
Yeah, we'll do it live on air. But we were trying to make a dent in it, but then my dad rang me and then he wouldn't get off the phone, so I kind of left Ian to do it, and then
we'd been through all this evidence so much, and they hadn't really.
yeah,
I know they said they did, but the evidence they gave wasn't like new evidence, was it? It was just
no, it
the same
wasn't.
information we already knew.
And if they, I don't know, I just felt it should have been a little bit more clearer than
There
just.
should have been more.
You have to literally
Clues.
read over all the evidence over and over and
Very
over. And
tedious.
yeah, I mean, cold cases take years to solve, and I don't have that kind of time in my life. So Ian did kind of just jump to some of the evidence.
I had to, because
Just
I'd been
yeah,
over all this and they hadn't given me anything that I felt that was any.
no. So I don't know. I am going to watch one of these cases after we've done this video, you know. And if people say that they solved it without jumping to these clues, I'm just not going to believe it. I'm just not going to believe it. But you guys let me know if you have ever solved one of these cases.
Yeah,
Or
and
if
any
you've
of the
tried.
other cases,
Or maybe
You've
there's
done.
ones that are easy or something. I don't
they're
know.
more like. Because I really enjoyed solving the first one, the first part.
Yeah, because we did find that we got that.
Found it, but then after that, they just didn't.
There's
give
just
us
too.
evidence, and there's no way you'd be able to convince someone of a real cold case just on the what we had.
Yeah. Obviously, don't want to ruin it too much for everyone, but
Yeah. So then here we've got. I'm guessing it's whoever the murder was, their confession, and then a witness statement from Jerry Ferrari. So I suppose we'll read that and then just give you our final thoughts.
so is this going to ruin it for people? Or
I'd have
what?
thought so, 'cause they don't really want to know who killed him.
So, final thoughts time. Like Ian said just a minute ago, off
Yeah.
camera.
It was really. I enjoyed how thorough they were with all the information. I really enjoyed the first half of our investigation, reading all the statements, getting all the information, working out the timelines and that.
And when we got the first bit of information, it was really good because obviously we had figured it out by ourselves, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Which was good.
But then after that, everything else that we were meant to try and figure out, it was all very tedious, and I think no one would have been prosecuted if this had been real. No one would have confessed.
No, definitely.
No
not.
one would have been able to apply any pressure with how tedious and minuscule the information was.
Yeah, well, we probably could have set things out a bit differently, but I don't know how much difference that would have made.
I don't think.
And we didn't have loads of time to finish this case.
I don't know. I feel like we invested a lot of time, but I don't think I wouldn't have managed to get it all.
No.
But have any of you done any of these cold case things? Are there any that you'd recommend us try?
Or I think maybe our career in cold case solving probably isn't on the cards at the moment.
Dear.
I can't remember what they're called now. Cagney and Lacey. Cagney and Lacey aren't. I'm not the word is.
Aren't shaking in the boots.
Yeah, Cagney and Lacey aren't watching their backs at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this little video. I don't know how it's gonna turn out really, but thanks for watching if you did watch, and we will speak to you next time.
See ya.
Bye.